Under on Steph Curry tonight is 28.5 points. You going over or under?
I'm going over, like him when he's shooting behind the three-point line, because that is his post-Jimmy Butler number. Again, going from 22 prior to Jimmy to 27 after. That means it's the law of averages. He's probably going to go above that, especially knowing that this is a big game. He wants to continue to find ways to rest, especially if they win this one.
Marcus Morris, Jimmy Butler's number is 21.5 points. Last seen limping on Sunday. Over or under?
I like Jimmy Buckets to go over, right? He understands he needs to be aggressive offensively. Against the Clippers, he had 30 points. So I know he understands the importance of winning this game, and they need him to score on this team. So I'm taking it over.
And then, Shanae, how about Ja on the other side? His number, 27.5 for Mr. Morant. Over or under?
Respectfully, I'm going to say the under, and I take this from his opponent, Steph Curry. Steph Curry said, it's not how many you make, it's when you make them. And Ja Morant is one of the best at that. It's a momentum play, it's a steal to a dunk, it's a block to a crossover. Those are the type of plays that will keep them in this game. So I'm going under respectfully.
Look, I mean, this play-in has been an outstanding addition for the NBA. I think that is almost unanimously agreed upon. The reality, however, of it is surviving and advancing. It has sort of an NCAA tournament kind of feel. So I'm going to, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you describe your level of confidence that the Warriors win? This is a Warriors team. People are talking about winning the West. They got to win one game tonight before they can even think about that. Otherwise, their season could end on Friday. 10 is the most confident you can be. What is your level of confidence?
I'm going to say 9, right? I'm going to give him 9 because I believe that the Grizzlies will give him a dogfight, right? I think the Grizzlies are a really good team, but after the top 3 guys, I don't think that they have any experience after that, right? I think that the Warriors understand getting that extra break really helps them. You know what I mean? They are banged up with injuries, so I think they lay it on the line right here. They give everything they got, and they cruise into the 7th seed.
Yeah, again, a reminder for those who don't know, the losers of the 7-8 games wind up playing for their lives on Friday and then turning around and playing when the playoffs begin just very quickly after that. Shanae, how confident are you about the Warriors tonight?
Look, I'm not going to go 9, but I'll go 8.5. I'll go 8.5.
Higher than I expected from either of you. Jimmy Butler, when last seen, Jimmy G. Buckets was limping around the floor the other day. That's 2 days ago. It's not 2 weeks ago.
But also, he's one of the toughest in the NBA, and I think they expect, and that's the play right there, taking the knee by Kawhi Leonard. A lot of people are concerned because, you know, with injuries, sometimes you hit that knee and then it puffs up and all that type of situation. But, thank goodness we don't think that that's the case.
It's like a contusion, like a thigh contusion.
Good word.
So, like, but I mean, look,
they got stuff for that, Greeny. They got stuff to take care of that.
They do have stuff for that.
What stuff do they have for that? Because candidly, I'm in pain all the time.
Many massage therapists, medicine, they got it.
Yeah, they got it.
Sorry. So you were saying, so Jimmy, you think Jimmy is fine tonight? Yeah,
I think Jimmy plays. I think Jimmy, you know, he goes out. He knows the importance, right? He's in a position where he went to Golden State.
That's why they brought him
for something, right? He stayed in that game, so I think he will be okay. I mean, I don't see him limping.
I ask this one also of Shanae advisedly, and I say that because she is from Houston. The winner tonight gets the Rockets in the first round of the playoffs. The loser tonight is playing for the right to play OKC. How much of a difference, putting your own civic fandom aside, how much of a difference is that?
Look, a lot of people might say that if the Warriors win this game, they actually got the favorable path.
Right.
The basketball gods of Spalding and Wilson might have blessed them because they avoided OKC, which I said is literally a defensive buzzsaw. If you look at the defensive categories, they're number one.
Everything.
Then they've got the number 1 player in SGA, who, like I said, wakes up and has 30-piece. And then, of course, they've got, J-Dub, and they've got multiple players. So the Warriors going up and getting this one win. You saw how much they wanted to win the final game of the regular season versus the Los Angeles Clippers. This is a beauty of the play-in. They want to be able to advance because they know that their path is so much smoother. They also avoided the Lakers by virtue of that loss. I think that this is the game that they're going to put everything toward.
If they win tonight, they get Houston. If they win that, then they get the winner of Lakers Timberwolves. So we could be setting ourselves up for a fascinating ride in the West. In the meantime, you guys know I love sports history. Do you know what happened 60 years ago today? Chris Mad Dog Russo, if you're watching, get a little closer to your TV.
7-8, 7:30 game for everybody. Winner plays Boston. I don't know if that's good or bad. Loser plays the winner of the 9-10, which would be between the Bulls and the Heat. So we got Trae Young, who we know he just loves big game moments. On the other side, we got Paolo Banchero, who is having a career year. And I have to ask you, Chandler, upper hand in this game goes to whom?
I think me and Lou said it yesterday. We kind of like the Hawks in this game just because big game, Trae Young. He's been in the spotlight before. He has dominated the game like this at MSG. So this is kind of a walk in the park for him in Orlando. But listen, the Magic are a 5-point favorites, and they have two extremely versatile wings in Paolo and Wagner. They slow you down. They kind of a clash of styles here. The Magic, they play slow. They're methodical. They're 28th in points per game. The Atlanta Hawks, 5th in 28 in points. So it's a lot of scoring versus a lot of slow down offense, a lot of ISO ball. So it's going to come down to defense. Dyson Daniels is going to have his hands full guarding one of those bigger guys, but I expect a great game. I'm actually kind of shocked by this spread, though. I don't know. I didn't think
it's too big.
I think it is. I think it's going to be tight all game long.
That's why I like it to go Atlanta's way, right? And especially when you have Trae Young at the helm of that. Like, He's not new to adversity in his career. He's not new to being in these type of situations, environments. Like Chandler just mentioned, this is possibly a walk in the park for Trae Young, considering the places that he's played for deciding basketball games and it not being in Orlando. And so for that, I give the Atlanta Hawks the upper hand. You know, this is a team that's three years removed from, you know, the Eastern Conference Finals with a lot of those same pieces, and they found themselves in a play-in game. I think they understand what it takes to get them to the next level.
I'm wondering, it is funny to read the line, the winner gets to play Boston, because it doesn't sound like you really won anything at that point. But I'm wondering if one of these teams, and we know the injuries and everything that happened to Orlando, should one of these teams feel more pressure to extend their season? Okay, it should be that.
Atlanta, yeah, you have a star who's at the crossroads with his organization. You got to figure out whether they're going to put more pieces around him to be successful, or they're going to have a real conversation this summer and figure out another landing spot for him, you know. And I think some of that is determined based on these next couple of games. You know, where do the Atlanta Hawks go in their future from here? With Orlando, on the flip side of that, is you have young stars. You still have some leeway to build, to continue to figure out where you're going to go with your roster, where you're going to go with the future of your organization. And so you basically got the perfect storm. You know, you got a 7-8 year vet on a team that's trying to figure it out, trying to figure out the best way to help him win basketball games. And then on the other side of that, with Orlando, you got a team that's trying to build out superstar level guys. And so I think the pressure is going to go to Atlanta naturally from that.
Yeah, I think there's always been reports of Trae Young. Are they going to move off from him? Is he going to stay there? Is he the guy? So I think this is kind of a big statement postseason run that he can make and kind of solidify his future in Atlanta. If not, I think, yeah, it's a possible shopping situation. I think both futures are bright for both of these teams. The health of Jalen Johnson, Atlanta, is obviously extremely important. He's a guy that got a lot better, obviously had the shoulder surgery, is not available. Can this #1 pick, can he pan out? Can he turn into something that they can also be, he can be a franchise type of piece. So there's a lot of questions in Atlanta.
What's his name again?
Russia Shea. But yeah, I mean, and then on the other side, Orlando Magic, they're not fully healthy either. They're missing the other Wagner. They're missing Jalen Suggs. So they're missing some pieces too. But the future, they both have a lot of young, bright pieces and assets.
Whoever makes it to the first round, do one of these teams, in your eyes, Lou, have a better chance of, making the first round something, which is, 5 games or more?
I like both of these teams have talent, right? I don't think you can go wrong with either. I think Boston still has a great opportunity of beating both of these teams in a first round series based on, the way that they've been going about business. But, if I have to pick one, I'll still go with the veteran group like in Atlanta. I would go with those guys. You lose Bogey in a trade.